G'day everybody, back again at the Hen's Tooth Cafe. Today what we're looking at is this is a Vero board clone of the Electronics Integrated Preamp. I stumbled upon it quite by accident, like I usually stumble upon many things. Some people in the heavy metal side of things say that this was or is a key component to the sound of Masaga. I've never actually listened to them personally. I'm not that much into heavy metal, more the old stuff like Black Sabbath, but I don't know, there was a lot of talk about it on a couple of the forums, and kind of piqued my curiosity, so did a little bit of studying on it, and decided to this is one of the few things of late that I didn't even bother breadboarding. I just decided, what the heck, parts count is low, I'll give it a shot. So what is it? Well, it's a preamplifier, and it can do a variety of things. It can act as a line driver if you got a lot of long cables, kind of like a buffer would, kind of support your signal through a lot of long cables. It's got a really high input impedance, 6.8 megohms. It can act as a control preamp. I'm quoting this stuff from the instruction manual, but I've been playing around with it for a little bit, and to tell you the truth, I think, because I have a lot of long cables in my setup, and right now I'm using a little buffer that's based on the Klon buffer, and I think this is going to replace it. Why? This thing will take anywhere between 9 and 32 volts DC. Yeah, 32 volts DC. The more DC you pump into it, it increases your headroom, but you can also increase your signal. At 32 volts, the input level will go from -2 dB up to all the way to plus 22 dB. It'll give you up to a 20 dB boost. There's probably boosters that are more powerful than that, but what I like about it, the other thing I like about it too, is that it has a bass and treble control, which you can tweak your signal a little bit. If you want to make it a little darker or a little brighter. The bass control works in the 100 Hertz zone, and the treble control works in the 10 kilohertz zone, plus or minus 15 dB either way. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug it and plug my guitar directly into the amplifier so we can have a reference sound. I'm using a custom-made guitar that I built, and it's got Bill Lawrence 500 series humbuckers in it. It's going straight into a little 15-watt practice amp. That's the bridge pickup. And the neck pickup. So now what we're going to do, just change the cables over here and plug it into the preamp. It has a volume control and unity between my guitar going straight into the amp and through the preamp is I don't have it on in the box right now, and I'm just looking at the volume control. Unity is about a 1.5 or 2, right in there on the you know, where if the pot had a dial, it would be right there. Maybe I'll touch it a little more. There we go. Yeah, that's about the same. So right now I have the tone controls right at noon, and I notice that my neck pickup is just a touch brighter. So I could see it driving a long cable, being able to retain some of the high end that you would lose through all the capacitance of the cable if you're running like a couple of 20-foot cables between pedals, or you know, whatever your setup might be, if you got a lot of wire in there. So a little more top end with the tone controls at noon, but not overly so. It's a pleasant little boost. So if we play with the bass control now, if we take it to minimum, takes the bass right out of it, and it still sounds pretty good. Got a thin little T-Rex sound there. And if we boost it right up, so mind you, I'm using a little practice amp with I think it's an 8-inch speaker, so I might be pushing it a little hard, boosting the bass up so high. Anyway, we'll put that bass back to noon, and the treble control, turn it right down. And it's quite nice. It just kills the high frequencies. Mellows out the tone really nicely. And if we crank it right up, again, it's pushing my little practice amp pretty hard. So tone controls, I would say, fairly effective. And it's helpful, I guess, if you're using it in a line driving format, that if you want to just regain the original tone of your guitar, you can tweak them just a little bit just to get yourself right in the zone. And the volume, right now I'm running this at 18 volts, and if I crank the volume right up, no noise. I must add that I am not using the LM741 yet. Haven't got it yet. Right now what I'm using is a TL071 op amp. Pinout's the same. The 741 I believe is good to 22 volts. The 071 is good to 15, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to be putting the 741 in it when I get it, because I want to build it according to the specs of the original. But the 071 is doing an admirable job standing in right now. It's nice and it's really quiet. I've got the volume cranked on this thing right now, and if I maybe turn the volume up on the amp, a little bit of noise probably because it's not in an enclosure and I've got a couple of fluorescent lamps. But I mean, well, the amp is maxed right now. That's a 15 watt practice amp, and I'm probably just getting the noise, a little less noise. I got another fluorescent up here. Not the ideal workshop. Anyway, so it can overdrive an amp. This is a solid state amp. So I can imagine that on a tube amp there, you'll probably really do a really nice job of overdriving it. Use the neck pickup. Cut a coil. If I pull back on the bass a little bit. So you can hear the difference in the coil cut there. So you can, if you've got a coil cut switch on your guitar, you can maybe even use this cranked up. Cut the coil, you get a nice then kick in the other half of the coil to just boost it up. So all in all, a handy little tool. I'm glad I discovered it. It's probably going to find a way, it's definitely going into an enclosure. I'm going to build this sucker, and probably won't be too long before it's sitting somewhere on my pedal board. That's the TC Electronics Integrated Preamp. All the details, as always, are at doityourselfstompboxes.com. The Vero, the schematic, and all that will all be available there. So if you want to build yourself one, or get a friend to build you one, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a great day. Ciao.